Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 87 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, November 13th, 2021. It's a gorgeous autumn day. It's so nice out. It was raining this morning, wasn't very pleasant this morning. Wonderful out now. It's very lovely out now. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here with me. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I've been up to. I'm so happy to have all of you here. If you have not yet done so, I would love it if you would subscribe to my little channel, like the video, hit the notification bell so you find out when I have new videos coming out, which are typically every week. I aim to get a video out every Saturday. Usually happens every Saturday. Once in a while it doesn't. But so let's move on to my works in progress. I have two this week. One is a work in progress and the other is a new cast on, or a new beginning of a project. I kind of hinted at it, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, and I bit the bullet and started it this afternoon, just earlier this afternoon. So it's just barely started. So my first project, it's in my Fringe Supply field bag, and that is my Shawlography. And it's a pattern by Stephen West. I'm still working on it. Most people are finished the shawl already. I'm still working on clue number 2 out of 4 clues. It's been a slow slog for me. I'm loving it. I think it's gorgeous. I'm really enjoying it, but I just don't have the hours to spend on it. Although I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks I'll have more time to spend on it. But we'll show you my progress. So if you're one of the few people that wants this to remain a surprise, you might want to tune out for a few minutes. Most people have already seen the finished project. The pattern's fully released now. There's no more mystery to it. So here we are. I'm still on clue number 2, but this is where I am now. Clue 1 took us up to here, the end of these little, people are calling them shrimp. So it's kind of what they look like actually. And then clue 2 is from this section upwards. There's still one more section for clue number 2, the right and left side, so kind of like a part A and part B. But since I saw you last week, I had finished the little welts, or who is it? Someone commented they were, what kind of I was gonna say dragon, the little bumpities down the back of dinosaurs, that they reminded people of those. And it's true, it does. So in the last week, what I have done is this little triangle section and the baubles. Those took a while to do. Oh my goodness. And they're not all the same. My poor little baubles, we were supposed to do four rows and then bring it together. Some of mine are 3, some of them are 4, some of them are 5. Whatever. They're all done though now. But my little triangle section's not as distinctive or as distinctive and contrasty as some people's. Mine's more of a shadowy effect because of the 2 colors I'm using. That's fine. And my little baubles are done in the bright color. So I have only one more part to do in completing the second clue, and then I'll finally get going on the third clue. I seriously am hoping to have this done before the beginning of December. crossing my fingers. I'm hoping it'll be done by the beginning of December. Worst case scenario, I'll get more work done on it during December, and I will get it finished before the year is over. That's my ultimate goal. I want it done before 2021 is finished, but I am hoping to have it done before November is finished. But we shall see, because the rows are long. It's taking me a while to get through every row. It is what it is. So that's my Shawlography. I still forget what needle size I'm using. 3.5, I believe, millimeter, or US 4. I think those are correct. I'm using Holst Super Soft yarn for the design in 5 different colors. Geranium is the pink. The cream color is lather. And then the 3 purple colors, I believe, are Sweet Pea, Damask, and Plum, from the lightest to the darkest of the 3 purples I have. So those are the colors I'm using on there, and I'm loving it. It's a fun knit. I'm really enjoying the knit, and I'm really eager to keep working on it and get it finished. So I want it done. It's cast on. I didn't cast on until I think about the 15th or 17th of October. The first clue came out on October 8th, which was 2 days after I had surgery on my hand. So I was out of commission for 2 weeks, where my hand wasn't working well. So I was 2 weeks behind before I even started. So such is life. And I'd also mentioned, I think last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that I wanted to do a scarf for a young lady. I think she's 13, around 13 years old, from our church. She's going through a really rough spell right now. And she has seen me knitting before and working on crafts. And she keeps teasing and saying, it's like, will you knit, can you knit me a scarf? Can you make me a scarf? And typically I'm not a fan of when people come out and say, like, can you make me something? I find it hard to say no, but I might not want to make something for someone because I don't necessarily enjoy working on projects to order for someone else. I tend to like to make them. I make the choice to make them and either gift them to people or knit for myself. So she'd been asking me and commenting, it's like, oh, asking me, I'd be working on something and she'd come up to me and it's like, oh, is that for me? So she is going through a really rough patch right now, and I've decided I really do want to. I know she would love a scarf. So I've decided to get some yarn and I'm going to crochet a scarf for her. And she has no idea that I'm doing this. It'll be a surprise for her, probably for a Christmas gift for her, or just some random time when I get to catch up to her again. So I was looking through different crochet patterns for scarves. So I thought, if I try knitting one, my knitting is a lot slower, and where I'm going to be going in for surgery on my thumb in a few weeks, I'm going to lose at least 2 weeks of crafting time once this gets fixed. I thought, well, if I go for a crochet scarf, I have a far higher likelihood of finishing it in time. My crocheting is faster, and crochet projects in general seem to finish faster for me. The stitches are much larger. You can get a lot done in a lot shorter time. So she mentioned she liked blue, and I was thinking, well, I want a yarn that is going to be comfortable being abused, potentially being abused, and not cared for, so that it will not be 100% wool scarf. Because I don't know if she likes wool. Some people are sensitive to wool. But I also thought she's a 13-year-old girl. around 12, 13, 14. She's in that range. I honestly don't. I think she's 13 and a half. I think she will be 14 in the summer. But anyway, she will not be the one doing, initially be the one that'll be caring for her or for the scarf. And I don't want to put the responsibility on her parents to make sure that it's cared for and laundered properly. So I just want it to be something that's an acrylic that can just get thrown in the washer, thrown in the dryer, doesn't matter. So I was looking around, we were out earlier today, and I went, and this is in a fancy project bag for now. I just got home not long ago. So what I decided to use for her scarf is I picked up 4 skeins of the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn. And this is in a gorgeous royal blue. This color is glorious. I love this color myself. I love a royal blue is one of my favorite colors. I just love a nice jewel tone, gorgeous blue. So I picked up 4 skeins of this. That might be more than I need. The yardage the pattern shows said 880 yards. So that would put me at about 3.5 skeins of this yarn. So I picked up 4, thought that'll be plenty. That should be plenty. I can stop knitting. I can stop crocheting a little sooner if it's getting plenty long enough. And I'm making, the scarf that I'm making is, I think it's listed as being a shawl or a wrap, but it's going to be, it'll be a very wide scarf. And what I decided to make is the Wren Sideways Shawl. And it's a pattern by Claire M. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I started it this afternoon, and I have just a few rows done. But you can see what I mean by it's wide. The length is going to go this way. So it's going to be a nice, it can be doubled up easily. It'll be a nice, squishy, warm scarf when it's done. All the holes notwithstanding. But it will be a nice 4-row repeat. And it's a nice lacy pattern. It's hard to see. I will insert a picture of what the scarf looks like or what the wrap looks like. I'll just take a picture from the pattern page and just show you a picture from Ravelry up on the screen so you can see what it'll look like once it's done. But here's what I have so far. And again, this was just a quick start that I had earlier today. And this will work up quickly, especially once I get through the first 4-row repeat the first couple times. Then I'll get the hang of the pattern and it'll easily cruise along at that point. So this is what I have so far. I'm on finished row 3. I think I might have made a mistake on row 3. I'm going to go back and double check the pictures and take a better look at, because I think I might have put these little double crochet pieces in the wrong spot. And I think I might have too many or not enough of these across here. We'll see. I'm going to go back through and look at the pattern, and I might have to pull it apart. I already made a mistake on the first row. I didn't read the pattern properly. I was trying to hurry and get a quick start on it, and I didn't pay attention in the first. I did the first row, starting the second row, and realized I did single crochets all the way along on the first row that should have been double crochets. So I had to go back through and undo the first row, do it again. And now I think I made a mistake on row number 3. So I'm going to go back, look at the pattern, read the pattern more carefully, and get a close-up look at pictures of completed projects to see. I glanced at them just before I started taping, and it does look like I messed it up. So I will go back to that. So I'm hoping that by next week when I see you again, I have a good chunk of that done. We shall see. But right now, I've just barely got it started. I'm using, as I mentioned, I'm using the Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. It's a worsted weight yarn, so it'll it'll crochet up quickly. And I'm using a 5.5 millimeter needle, which is, I believe, a US size I. I'm used to the millimeter sizes. My crochet hooks are all labeled in millimeters. And the same when I talk about knitting needles all the time, it's automatic to refer to them in millimeters because that's what I grew up with. That's what I'm used to hearing them referred to as. So that's my new cast on. So I'm excited about it. I haven't done a crochet project in a little while now. I think the last one I did was my granny stripe blanket. And I really do enjoy a crochet project. And I'm looking forward to working on this one. It'll be really pretty when it's done. And it's going to look really nice. So I'm excited about it. And I know that this young lady from our church will be so happy to have it. She will love it. And it's something I want to do for her. Even though she instigated it, asking me, it's like, can you make me one? And I'm like, yeah, now I want to. Seeing some of the things she's going through right now, yeah, I definitely want to. And just let her know I was praying for her while I was making it, and that I was like putting all kinds of love into it for her. Because I do care for her. She's a really nice young lady. And I just want to give her something comforting with what she's going through right now. So I'm excited to keep working on that and excited to get it to her for a Christmas present. So that is the extent of my knitting and crochet. I do have crochet this week. So that's the extent of my crafting. In other news, we have one more week of classes at the university before we go into our Thanksgiving break, where we'll be off for a week. Then we go back for classes for 2 weeks of classes, and then final exams, and the semester is done. So we'll be finished with this semester in the next month. Also in the past week, on Tuesday, I went and saw my orthopedic surgeon for the pre-op appointment to get my right trigger thumb fixed. And my left hand is healing so nicely. Still looks a little bit red just around in the area around it, but it's healed up beautifully. It's going to have a goodly bit of a scar there, and it feels so much better. So much better. The mobility is improving. It is stiff in the mornings, but I start working on it right away. So I went and saw the surgeon about my thumb. So again, I have the same problem, trigger thumb, as I had trigger finger. And I'm scheduled to have the surgery on the 1st of December. I have to go in on Black Friday. So the 26th of November, 5 days before my surgery, I have to go and have a COVID test. So please cross your fingers for me that everything goes well with the COVID test and that I test negative for that. If I test positive again, my surgery will be postponed. I likely won't be able to have it until January. Not thrilled with that concept. I really would like to get it done soon because it is really bothering me. So COVID test on the 26th, surgery on December 1st. And then I will be out of commission for a good 2 weeks. It's hard to tell. It might be out of commission a little bit longer before I can get back to knitting after the surgery, but I will be wearing the big heavy bandaging for 5 days after the surgery. Then I need to keep it clean and dry and covered until I get the stitches out, which will be on I think it's the Tuesday the 14th of December. The stitches will come out. Once the stitches are out, then I will be ready to get the needles and hooks back going. So I will be out of commission with my knitting for 2 weeks coming up. So I really do want to get a lot more done now and in the next couple weeks before surgery, so that I have things done up and I'm ready to cast on new stuff coming closer to Christmas, but we shall see. So I have not touched my Sunday cardigan in over a month. I do want to get back to that while I'm on my Thanksgiving break. And I also have not touched my Halloween shorty socks. I have not touched them in a few weeks now either. I worked on them a little bit, I think last week. I haven't touched them again since. And now that I have my crochet project, it's quite unlikely that I will work on the other two projects other than during my Thanksgiving break. I'll probably spend a day or two solid focus on each of those. I am hoping to do my regular Whip It Down week, the Thanksgiving edition, for this year again. But I also want to get some tidying and sorting done in my craft room, and we have some things we want to get done around the apartment as well. So I'll see how much I get done. The hubby's going to be home most of the time during the Thanksgiving break as well, so sometimes he cramps my crafting style. So we shall see. But that's about it. Slightly shorter episode today, maybe. Yeah, I'm still over 20 minutes, but a little bit shorter. So stay tuned, come back in a week and see how much I've done on the Wren Sideways shawl and how much more I get done on Shawlography. And I will also, I think I will be posting a video on, I'll probably post one on Wednesday with a quick little vlog style. I plan on having quick little videos each day for my Thanksgiving break. So from Wednesday coming up, the 17th, will be my introduction. And I will do a little update every day throughout my Thanksgiving break until we go back to work on the 30th, 29th. How many days in November? Whatever number of days there are, it'll be a week and a half come Sunday. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble around in wonky circles. So I will let you go, and I will see you guys again in a week. Bye now.